Welcome to episode 981. Ben Silbermann, co-founder of Pinterest, 8 lessons. This is an outline of episode 981, lesson 1 to 4. This is lesson 5 to 8. Lesson 1, the idea of Pinterest started as a hobby.
So when I was a kid, I was in West Des Moines and I loved insects. You pin them up to these boards and you write down the descriptions and then you show them off to your one friend. Right? People collect baseball cards, people collect stamps, and it doesn't have to be this standalone hobby, right? The books.
Lesson 2, all 3 co-founders are non-techies. Evan Sharp is a graduate of Columbia University. He majored in architecture. Paul Sciarra is a philosophy major. Silbermann is a political science major. They both graduate of Yale. Maybe ability to think is more important than technical skills. And 3, listen to girlfriend's advice. It's a picture of his girlfriend whom he later married and have 2 kids.
Actually committed and put myself in a situation where I had to make it work. I actually remember the night that I made the call. I was sitting at dinner with my girlfriend then, now my wife, and I was talking about some cool idea that I think would be great and how we could build it and how we could market it. And she looked at me and said, you should either do it or just stop talking about it. And
4, his first startup, Tote, was a failure. Paul Sciarra and together they founded Tote. Tote was a failure. Lesson 5, he's the father of visual search.
It's a visual service. We started that way 8 years ago. And one of the technologies that's been really exciting to develop over the last few years is computer vision. And it's been really exciting for me. I'm a visual person. Whoever said a picture's worth 1,000 words, I think tools so you can actually use your camera to query the world around you. Mm-hmm. And I think today, but I think in the very near future, the camera will feel a lot more like a keyboard. Instead of having to come up with exact words to describe what you're looking for, you're going to be able to just point the camera at something and use that as the starting point.
Lesson 6, there's no guarantee of success, only guarantee of adventure.
It might be pretty cool. And I just think it would be so cool if Pinterest could be a service billions of people use, to help plan and get ready and think about their future. And he was like, oh, that's great, I'm in. And I think that a lot of the most talented and driven people, they're not super deterred by failure. So if you put out a really big challenge, I think they just get really excited by that. They say, hey, why not? Let's go give it a shot. And if we fall short on that, at least we took a shot at doing something really important and meaningful. It wasn't about guaranteeing success. It was about guaranteeing an adventure. And
Lesson 7, the 3 things to trust.
Is that there are a lot of different ways to succeed. There are a lot of different companies. There are companies that don't raise money. There are companies that do raise money. There are companies that go B2B. There are companies that are consumer. And then within consumer, there are a lot of different things that are successful for the very simple reason that there are a lot of different kinds of people in the world. And as much as people want to give you advice about exactly how you should run your startup, exactly the strategy, I think you need to trust the data, you need to trust the users that you have, and you need to trust your own instinct to do what you think is going to be right for your company.
Lesson 8, you should go to startup schools like Y Combinator if you are lonely.
Just don't give up. Don't let somebody talk you out of your dream. And the reason that I think startup school is so cool is because if you look around in the room, you're surrounded by all these people that really want to do what you're doing. Silicon Valley is a weird place. People always seem to be talking about doing startups, but people are from all over the country. They're from all over the world. And those early parts of doing a startup can actually be really lonely. It can just be a total bummer because you're toiling on this thing. No one cares about it.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.